career highlight.
Yeah.
One more event to go.
Dude, the chat knows well about these. Yeah. Thank you, chat.
Dude, the chat woke up. The chat woke up for the multis. Just wait till Friday. We're going to talk about we'll start with the decathlon. Let's do that. Let's put a pin in this, Gordon. We're going to start with the decathlon. I know the temptation is going to be to start something else. We're starting with the decathlon. Get the chat rolling here. We got some pronunciation guides, which are appreciated as well. Marathon. Okay, the story here, Kenya, Ethiopia, obviously. Bridget Kosgei, the big favorite for Kenya. She's a world record holder. She won London last year in the modified London Marathon. She looked good in 2020. Ran with Safan Hassan in that 1 hour race that she got disqualified for later. But she's been doing some non-marathon distances and performing really well. She ran the Kenyan trials 10K where she got 6th, which is nothing to be ashamed of if you're a marathoner. Kenya also has Ruth Chepngetich, who was the 2019 world champion. She ran 64:02, world record in the half. April, Jepchirchir, who hasn't run in 2021, Perez Jepchirchir, but she won Valencia in 2020. Kenya, I think, has a chance at a sweep here, which is not really breaking news. Ethiopia obviously would be solid, but if you're just looking at resumes, the Kosgei, Chepngetich, Jepchirchir 1, 2, 3 is stronger than the Dereje, Berhane Dababa, Tejas Gurma 1, 2, 3. Listen, though, it's going to be a tactical championship style race, so we have to throw that caveat out there. The sweep will be hard. I think Kenya obviously has the personnel and the talent to do it. It's just a matter of, on that day, are they able to put together is the race going to play to people like Kosgei's strength, which I think Kosgei's good enough to where it won't matter. Chepngetich has obviously done it in less than ideal conditions, namely Doha 2019. So I think Kenya can do it. I'd put their over-under, though, at like 2.5 medals.
I feel like you're forgetting about – I know talking about Kenyan sweep. Ethiopia has a great 1, 2, 3. But I really think the Israeli athlete is the one who could break it up. Yeah. And she was – she won the Tokyo Marathon in 2020. I know it's not the same course as where they're going to be running this one, right? It's because they're not running the Tokyo Marathon course, right? So I know it's not the same, but the last time there was a major marathon in the country of Japan, she won. She ran 2:17:45 in that race. So she's able to handle the conditions, if anything. I'm not sure. Well, maybe it was probably different weather. But, I feel like that means something. And she has a great mark. I think she could break up the Kenyan trio.
Yeah.
And she has a good time. 2:17 is no joke. So it's not like it's like a fake 2:23, 2:24 type mark. So
she'd be the one. Now, also with Salpeter, should be mentioned in 2020, she won the Israeli title in the 800 and the 1500, as well as the 3000 and the 5000. She ran every event at their championships. 206 in that 800. So solid speed there for Salpeter. Yeah, you look at the countries that have the one, because you do want to be careful that you're not just defaulting to Kenya and Ethiopia in these marathon races. So you want to consider people like Salpeter. I just think you have a woman who's run 2:14 in Kosgei, and then you have Chepngetich and Jepchirchir, who have been great in the marathon too, but also have these ridiculously fast half marathon PBs. I think it's going to be tough for anybody to keep pace. In terms of medal odds for the marathon for the U.S., I have it at 5%, just because the field is really good. The field is really good, and people can say, well, maybe if it was a different team or they did the trials this year. No, it was going to be hard regardless. So you got Tuliamak, you got Seidel, you got Sally Kipyego. Again, in a championship setting, with the weather being weird, you can't really count anybody out here for it. But I think 5% is about right, because it's going to take a lot of things going the U.S.'s way to medal. Now, I will tell you, I think it was back in 2012, I did the odds for every single medal event. I was writing for my own blog then, and I had women's steeple at 1%, which was true at the time. But then, like 4 years later, it's like you don't even think about a world where Emma Coburn and Courtney Frerichs aren't in the mix. But just my point is you have to take every field individually. And in this field, it's really going to be tough.
I would think 5% high. I would be like 1% or like 0.5%. I just don't even see any scenario where, there's an open spot for a medal. Like, there's no Galen Rupp on that women's team. I mean, literally there isn't a Galen Rupp, but like, there's no one who's like consistently been able to show that they've been able to compete at the international level. I mean, Molly Seidel, she's only run one marathon, and it was against Americans. So Sally Kipyego, but she's kind of on the twilight of her career, and Alfie Tulamuk is coming off of having a kid. So there's not like that. You might be a little more confident in Alfie if she was like coming off of like consistent training and like was just coming off that, running a bunch of road races, but they're not. It's not. No one is 100%. So, I mean, maybe they're 100%, but like they're not like coming off of finishing top 3 at a major. Like none of them are doing that. So I would look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the results. I'm looking at the results for this year. Tulamuk 32:43 on the 4th of July in Atlanta in a 10K. Seidel has run a few times. Again, she ran pretty well in London, right? After the trials, she ran that 2:25 last year, but this year she's run 2 half marathons and a 10,000. But this is the case with everybody because of how the world is right now and the limited racing opportunities on the road, that it's tough to get a read. Kipyego ran a 15K and a 10,000, one of the sound running events in 31:30. Yeah, it's going to be tough. The path is some of the favorites go out way too fast or drop out or the weather gets bad and the whole race gets mucked up and other people take advantage of, which we've seen in the Olympics before. We've seen in the World Championships before. It would not be the first time something like that happens, but I put it at 5% right now. So
when you analyze the marathon and you see how many Ethiopians and Kenyans aren't going to be worthy Ethiopians and worthy Kenyans aren't going to be on the Olympic, like in the Olympic marathon, it's just like ridiculous. Like if you were to include Ethiopia and Kenya, like as many as they want, most of the countries would finish like 50th. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like the marathon is that one event where there's just a super dominant countries in Ethiopia and Kenya where this is only 3 per country turns I am 90th best in the world to all of a sudden I could be top 10 in the world. It's like ridiculous in my opinion.
Women's
more than any
hurdles.
other event.
Women's hammer throw?
No. Like
you're lumping 2 countries together though. You're saying Kenya and Ethiopia. If you could do a 2-country combo in every single event,
I'll take one country. Okay, I'll just do Kenya. You can take the 30th best Kenyan, right? If you take like the 30th best Kenyan and put them, give them the 3rd spot on the Kenyan marathon team, that Kenyan would finish top 10. That Kenyan would finish top 10. The 30th best, you take the 30th best American.
Hold on.
And now put them on. You take the 30th best American and put them on a marathon team. They're not going to finish top 10.
No. I'm not saying American. I'm saying, hold on. I'm going to look up the 30th best men's 100-meter runner. Actually, Travis, are you still there? I can get it. Because I'm actually curious about this. You're saying top 10?
Yeah, the 30th. Yeah. Okay. I'll look it up. 30th best 100-meter.
No, I got it right here. I got it right here. I'm going to get it right here. So right now, 30th best 100-meter runner in the U.S. was a tie, actually. Jalen Bacon, 10.12. Marcellus Moore, 10.12. Brian Henderson, 10.12. I think 10.12 would get you top 10. That's basically saying semis. Semis. Those guys can make semis.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You came up with a good point right there. That was a good point. You did have a good little retort to my rant right there.
Well,
but you know what I'm trying to say.
I'm looking at the women's 4-meter hurdles, which I think is going to be different because the depth is crazy. But 30th, yeah, 57, 52. That's tough. All right, we'll leave it there. Fun episode. Hope everybody enjoyed the field event and marathon preview on the women's side. We're going to do the men's field events and marathon on Friday, and then we'll be back next week on Monday and Wednesday to do the running events. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching live. If you did on YouTube, remember you can subscribe to the FloTrack Podcast YouTube channel. Thanks to Colt. Thanks to Travis. Thanks to Gordon. We'll talk to you guys on Friday.